Annyeong! In today's K-Poppin makeup video, I'm going to be doing 9 looks from Twice's new song, Feel Special. That's right, 9. So we're just gonna get right into it. Jonghyun, Jihyo, Nayeon, and Momo's makeup are a little bit similar in the video at least. They kind of go for more of like the natural kind of smoky brown eye that you see in a lot of K-pop videos, but I'll be doing a little bit of a variation for each of those, but it'll probably look a little bit similar. But first up is Jonghyun, because I feel like she has the most simple makeup out of everyone in the group. So I'm going to do one eye off camera and then I'll be right back to show you how I did it. Okay, so for Jonghyun's look, she kind of has like a smoky, pretty simple kind of smoky, very light brown eye, and then she has just kind of pretty long lashes. So all I did was kind of do a smoky look, a little bit of highlight in the inner corner, and then add mascara. So let me show you how I did that and what I used. Using my Million Red palette. Actually, I should probably put in a picture of Jonghyun here. But using my Million Red palette and a blending brush, I took this color right here and kind of just swept it all over my lid. I'm kind of just starting corners and just kind of blending it out. Just kind of like that. And then also making sure that I really blend out the crease. It's a very soft look. Okay, just like that. And then adding a little bit more of that same color onto the little lower lash line to kind of smoke it out. The kind of like puffy eye look is very popular in Korea. Jonghyun doesn't have it too much in this makeup. I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight, but her highlight's not really too shiny or sparkly, so I'm taking the color Bubbly in my Huda Beauty Rose Gold Palette Remastered, taking a little bit of that and just putting that on the inner corner of my eyes. And then also going into my Tarte palette. This is going to be a lot of this palette switching. Twilight and Bloom palette, and taking the color, what was it? And taking the color Flower Child, which is this color right here, and kind of layering that over to kind of dim down the sparkle of that golden highlight. Lastly, I'm going to take a little bit of Rebel and Smarty Pants, kind of mixing them together, and just kind of define the outer corner of my lash line just a little bit. Then really blend it out. And then lastly, it's just curling your lashes and applying mascara. And I'm using my Voluminous Superstar X Fiber 2-in-1 mascara thing. So gonna be really annoying to take off my makeup 9 times today. Oh. And then her lip color is kind of a darker red, almost a little magenta-y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Revlon Kiss Cushion Lip Tint in, does it have a color? Extra Violet. That's a very tiny font. And I'm going to put that on the center of my lips. It looks like this, and you kind of twist it to get the product. So I'm going to add a little bit of that, and then I'm going to use this, which is my Nature Republic Triple Mousse Tint in 04. I think this one's the Chic Red Mousse. Chic Red. And then apply that on the center of my lips as well. Kind of press it together. To kind of get that gradient kind of tinted look. And there you go. That is Jonghyun's look done. It's pretty easy, very easy to wear, very simple to do. It only takes like a few minutes. Yeah, and we're on to the next one. Okay, so I've taken off the makeup for Jonghyun, and next up is Momo. So Momo's look is a little bit darker. She has kind of a darker kind of contour to her eyes, and then like I mentioned, she really has like that kind of like puffy eye look. So I'm gonna be recreating that. And then her lip color is just very soft, very kind of a soft pinky coral color. So I'll be doing that. So again, I'm gonna do one eye off camera, come back and show you what I did. Okay, so I'm kind of back with Momo's look. It's a little actually a little different than what I said. I noticed the little details that I had missed. So she kind of has like a little orangey color on the outer corners. So what I did first is I took my Huda Rose Gold Remastered palette and took the color Demure, which is this kind of peachy coral color, and I kind of applied that along the outer corners. It's kind of my transition color. First, outer corners of the lash line as well. Bring it pretty far up and down. So like that. And then taking my Million Red palette and taking the darker brown color here, applying that towards the outer corners as well. Did I say inner corners earlier? I meant outer. But I'm kind of taking that, applying it to the outer corner and buffing that out to darken it. Okay. And then I'm actually going to take let's see, what were they? Out of my Million Red palette, I'm going to be taking a little bit of this center coral color and this shimmery coral color, kind of mixing them together a little bit, emphasizing a little bit more on the shimmer. And I'm actually going to apply that along like my outer waterline. Yes, I'm doing this with my fingers. Like that, so you can see a little bit of the shimmer there. And then I'm going to take that coral color again, and apply that to my outer third of my lower lash line. Actually, I'm going to use a brush for this, a liner brush. Okay, and then for the puffy eyes, my eyes don't really work with that just because of like the texture that I have under here, and I already have dark circles and I can't really cover them up, but I can show you kind of what the idea is behind it. So let's see. So basically what you kind of want to do is you want to apply a lighter color along like the part you want to puff, and then add like a very thin kind of very soft line underneath that as like a fake shadow. So taking a shimmery color, so I'm taking from my Remix palette the color Inspiration, which is this shimmery color right here. So taking that color on a clean finger, and then also taking a kind of a light, the color Charmer from the Tartelette in Bloom palette, which is the lightest color here, this white color. I'm kind of mixing them together just to tone down the shimmer a little bit because I don't have quite the right texture or finish of color, and I'm going to apply that just like right underneath my lash line. Towards the inner corner. Just to kind of highlight that. So because highlighted areas will pop out more, and then any area that is darker and matte will recede. I can do a better job on that eye. That's kind of just not having it, but you can tell a little bit better on this eye. That. And get that puffy effect. And then I'm going to take my liner again, and very, very thinly, taking a little bit of the color Jet Setter from the Tarte palette. I'm going to kind of apply a line underneath where I want the puff to be, which almost kind of starts from kind of the inner corner and just kind of goes down. And when you smile, you can kind of follow like your natural like crease. This one doesn't really have it, and that might be why I'm having a problem. My right eye is a little puffy already, so I can just kind of follow that line and then kind of blend it out so it doesn't look too harsh. Kind of just like that. Kind of like that, and you can see now there's kind of that fake puffy look. Much more so on this eye than this eye. Like I said, this eye was kind of giving me problems with the puff. Yeah, the highlight wasn't really coming through the way I wanted it to. It's a little bit better, I guess. There you go. You can kind of see that puffy look now. And then for the eyes, last step is of course to curl lashes and apply mascara. On these like kind of softer kind of smoky looks, I don't really go for eyeliner. Just because I think it makes it look a little too harsh and especially if you're using black eyeliner. I think the contrast is a little bit much. If you do want to add that extra definition, I'd say go for like a dark brown color just on the upper lash line. And then applying mascara. I'm just gonna do the one coat because it's faster. Yep. And then for Momo's lips, oop, so sorry. And then for Momo's lips, I'm going to be using this. This is the Ink Velvet Peri Para Sparkling Pink, and this is 09 Sparkling Pink. My lips are probably going to be a little bit stained just from all of the looks, but that's okay. So this is kind of a brighter, almost neon, not really neon, but a brighter kind of coral pink color. And this is Momo's look. You can really see the puff on this eye. This eye I didn't do that great of a job on, but okay, now we are on to Nayeon. So Nayeon also has a pretty simple look. She kind of has like a taupe smoky eye with like a little bit of highlight and a little bit of that highlight underneath her lash line. And then she also has like kind of vampy almost lips. Not quite that dark, but kind of a magenta-y darker red. So that's what I'm going to be doing. As always, be right back. So this is Nayeon's look. It's pretty, I made it pretty natural looking. It's doesn't show up too well on camera, but it's a little bit darker in person. But let me show you how I did it. So I'm going to take my Huda palette and I'm going to take the color Demure again, like I used in Momo's look. And I'm going to actually apply that kind of as a wash on my lids, just to kind of warm them up. I did this eye this time, so now I'm going to do this eye. But kind of just to warm it up and give it like a little bit of a peachier undertone, a warmer undertone. Apply that on my lids. And a little bit on the outer third of my lower lash line as well. And then taking my Tarte, taking my Tarte palette in the color Rocker, which is this color right here, which is kind of in like a, what is the word? Kind of a shiny taupe color, I would say. And then also taking, not this one, and then also taking the color, sorry, I'm switching a lot of palettes. Color Sway in my Tartelin Blue palette, which is kind of this shimmery rose gold color right here. I'm gonna mix those two and kind of apply that on my lids and really like smoke it out. Taking these two colors and just applying it on my lash line. And then always for smoky looks, I always tend to focus on the outer third of my eye, just because that's kind of where you want the most definition. And then taking a little bit of Rocker in the color Activist. So this color, try not to like blind you with the mirror. Taking a little bit of this color and this color, just like the tiniest dab. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to darken the outer third just a little bit. Oop, that might be too much. Just really blending. Ooh, yeah, that's too much. You can definitely see the difference. So let me soften that with my fingers. That's much better. This is why I like blending with my fingers better. It's already a lot better. Okay. And then for Nayeon's look, I'm going to highlight the inner corner with the colors, actually with my kind of a combination of my Vermilion Red palette, this shimmery color right here, and then the color Inspiration again from my Remix palette, which is this color right here. It's gonna kind of highlight the inner corner right here. Put the brush down because I don't need that right now. So I was gonna dab right there and then blend it into the lid. Probably can't hear me with my mouth like covered. But yeah, start applying it here and then kind of blend it down and then blend it into the lid. Like that. And then on the lower lash line, I'm taking that color Inspiration again, with a little bit of Charmer again, and kind of just applying that on the lower, along the lower lash line. Nayeon doesn't really have too much of that like puffy look, just a little bit, and I find that I don't really need to accentuate beneath. Just adding the highlight is kind of enough. So, and then for Nayeon's look, I am actually applying a little bit of black eyeliner to my top lash line only. Ooh, dusted my eye. Just apply in like very tiny strokes, as close to the lash line as I can. Not really winging it out. This is just kind of to make the lashes look fuller. Like that. And then of course, curling lashes and applying mascara, which I will be doing a lot of in this video. Oh, so many looks. And then for Nayeon's lips, I'm going to do, I'm not going to make it maybe as pink, I'm going to make it a little bit vampier. So this is the Maman Highlight Lip Tint in number 10, Midnight Singer. And then she kind of, it's kind of very faded at the top. She almost has kind of like a stain on the outsides of her lips. So I'm going to first apply it in the center, as always. And then kind of like really bring that down. Her lips are a little bit more filled in than some of the other members. Then I'm going to take my finger and kind of like smear it along the upper edge. Ooh. So kind of just like smeared it a little bit along the top. And then actually, I think it needs to be a little bit more purple. So I'm going to add a little bit of the Revlon lip tint on the center of my lips again, and just kind of I don't know if you can see a difference, but I think this color is a little bit more true to Nayeon's lip color in the video. So this is Nayeon's look. Kind of a simpler eye with a bolder lip. I find that that kind of having too much of an eye look with too much of a lip look can be like a little overwhelming on your face. So kind of toning one and highlighting the other is kind of the way to go, I think. So okay, so talk about makeup. Now it's time for Jihyo. So Jihyo's makeup is very soft in this one. Also, it's kind of similar to, I would say, like kind of Nayeon and Momo's, but definitely just a little bit softer. And then I'm going to add like a little bit of like the glitter that she has in the teaser photos. So you know the drill. I'm gonna go do one eye. I'll be right back. I'm back with Jihyo's look. So it's really a very simple, very natural look, and I added I would use glitter. I don't really have glitter, but I just added a little bit of like that sparkle, that kind of silvery glittery sparkle kind of beneath the eyes. So for this one, it's pretty easy. I'm just taking the color Smarty Pants, and you guessed it, kind of applying it as a wash all on my lids. I think Jihyo's look here is by far probably the most natural and definitely like the softest. I'm also taking a little bit of Rocker, which is that like kind of taupe color that has a little bit of sheen to it, and just using that to darken the outer corners. And then taking kind of what's ever left over my brush, kind of sweeping it under my lash line a little bit, kind of to create that puff, because she kind of has the look like Momo, where she kind of has that puffy eye. So I'm going to just kind of accentuate that on my eyes a little bit. A tiny bit of a shadow. Now on her, but it's not quite highlighted to like white. It's kind of more of a like a tan color. So I'm going to take Funny Girl and a little bit of Firecracker, which is kind of a golden brown shimmer color. I'm going to apply those two together on the lower lash line where I want that like highlight to be. Just like that. And then for her look, I'm not applying eyeliner. I might have some kind of left over, but I'm just gonna curl my lashes, and I'm actually gonna apply a different mascara because her look is so natural and kind of full of like neutral brown colors. I'm going to use kind of a dark brown mascara, which is not as like stark or harsh looking as black. It's not as much of a contrast. It's still pretty dark. Probably can't even tell that it's brown, but it makes a difference. And this is the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara in brownish black. And I'm not actually going to apply it to the lower lash line because hers is pretty natural looking, and it doesn't really seem like it has like the very defined lashes on the bottom. So there's that. And then lastly, for a little added touch, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but I'm going to add a little bit of the color flashing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to kind of like scrub it, like rub it in the pan to get like this kind of bigger pieces of fallout. And then I'm just going to very lightly dab that onto kind of like this lower lash line area, almost onto my cheek. I did a better job of it with this one than this one. So you can kind of see a little bit of like kind of that glittery look. And then last but not least, her lips are a very pinky color, so I'm going to be using, this is my Dear Darling tint, my Etude House that I've used before. And hers are kind of all over, but again, I'm just going to start from center lips and fade it out. I have so many tints now, they're all coming in handy. So that is Chihiro's look. This one I think is probably, this one and Nayeon's I think are probably the two simplest. I think Chewy's is also is more on the simpler, like softer side, so I'm going to be doing that one next. And then we'll get into a little bit more of the kind of the more special looks. Okay, so Chewy's look is kind of like a very soft, smoky, brownish coral color. It's kind of like, kind of goes from brown on like the inner corners into like a coral. And then she also kind of has like a rose gold kind of puffy look to her under eyes. And then her lips are kind of like a pinky, a little bit of a pinkier red. Still kind of a red. So once again, I will be back. Boop. Okay, I'm back. This is kind of Chewy's look. It's a little bit harder to see on camera, but basically the inner third is kind of a darker brown and it fades into kind of a peachy coral color, and then I have a little bit of that like highlight underneath my eyes. So what I'm actually going to do first is I'm going to take a liner brush and I'm going to kind of like outline this because there's kind of a more defined, kind of harder line. Excuse me, harder line right there. So I'm taking my Tartelette palette and in the color kind of mixing together Rebel and Jet Setter, which are both, this Rebel's a little bit of a warmer brown and Jet Setter's kind of more of a neutral. I'm actually going to kind of define this line, just a line right here along like the very inner third of my eye, and then I'm going to kind of fill that in with the liner brush. Defined edge a little bit. And I'm only going along the inner third. I don't really want any of that on the center of my lid. And then I'm just going to be using my pinky fingers, taking my Huda palette and taking Demure and Dollface, which are these two colors right here, this kind of peachy color and then this kind of like hot pink, only taking a little bit of the hot pink kind of on my pinky finger, and I'm going to kind of just like sweep that across my lash line, across my lash line, and then kind of like diffuse that into the lid. And I'm actually kind of keeping this area of my lid clean, or trying to. And then just kind of blend that out. Make sure that I did an okay job with this. Oopsie, that's too much pink, too much pink. If you have too much pink, just take a little bit of the softer coral color and just blend it out, and you should be fine. And then taking a little bit of this like champagne color called Bubbly, adding a tiny bit, a spot, just on kind of like the upper center of my eyes. Actually, a little bit more pink, I think, on the inner. Okay, and then taking, taking Rebel again from this palette, I'm going to darken the outer third of my lower lash line. Again, just using fingers, because I find that's the easiest way kind of for me to apply makeup, especially trying to go quickly. So kind of darken that, and then I'm taking the color Sway again from my Remix palette, which is the kind of rose goldy shimmer, and I'm applying that as the highlight for like the kind of puffy area, so underneath kind of my lash line, all the way into the inner corner, and then kind of like blending it upwards to kind of meet that shadow, so it's not as so it doesn't kind of go all the way across, it kind of just comes up and kind of stops at this edge. And then taking Jet Setter again, I'm going to define the line beneath that just a little bit. This eye puffs a lot better than this eye. I don't know why though. There you go. Then I'm actually going to also highlight. Just because it looks a little incomplete, highlight the inner corner of my eyes just a little bit. And so now that's the eyeshadow for Chewy's look, kind of a brown into kind of a smokier peachy color. And then lashes as always. Top, this for Chewy, top and bottom. She has very defined, very dark lashes. I'm gonna get so tired of curling my lashes after today. And then boop. One of these days I will get a better camera so that it shows up the colors and like the details show up a little bit better. I feel like some of them get kind of lost. Maybe it's not the camera, maybe I'm just not close enough or something, but okay. So this is Chewy's look. For her lips, I'm going to do kind of a redder color. I'm going to use just the Nature Republic Mousse tint on its own because it kind of has a pink undertone, so I think it really works for the color that Chewy has. And I'm going to just put it on the center of my lips. And just like that. Oops. Oh no. And that is Chewy's look. I'll show you what it looks like zoomed out. And then after this, we're gonna do Sana's look. Okay, so for Sana's look, she kind of has like a very pinky upper lid and then kind of a coral rose gold under eye. Kind of similar to Chewy's, but I would say a little bit more coral than brown. And then it looks like she's wearing like a little bit of eyeliner and then mascara, and then her lips are very pink. Kind of like what my lips are now stained as, so I'm not going to change that too much, I guess. That's good. Yeah, so I'll go ahead, let's do one eye, come back. Okay, so this is Sana's look. This one is, I think, most similar to Chewy's, except it doesn't have kind of like that brown blend in the inner corner, so this is just kind of a pink wash, and then like a very coral, kind of very glowy, puffy under eye, and then for this one I added a little bit of eyeliner and then mascara. So let me show you how I did it. So I used my Huda Beauty palette, and I'm using just this pink doll face, and I'm kind of just applying that as a wash on my lids, doing it in very like thin layers. I don't want to kind of pack on the color too quickly, so I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm just going to kind of apply the color in layers, making sure to blend out as I do, until you kind of get this pink smoky look. Actually taking taking a little bit of this shimmery peach color too, and just to kind of transition it a little bit on the top. So this, a little bit of that, making sure it's even. I think my eyes right now are a little bit, taking the color a little bit unevenly just because I've like messed up the base a little bit with taking the makeup on and off so many times, but that's okay. Okay, so this is kind of that's just the top, really easy. There's no real other shading or contouring necessary. And then for the bottom, I'm going to take a little my Million Red palette, taking this peachy color again, like the tiniest dab of that orange. I forgot that palette has no mirror. I'm gonna kind of just like run that all along my lower lash line to kind of warm it up. And then I'm taking, what am I taking? My Tarte Remix palette. I'm taking Sway again. Taking Sway and then also this kind of glittery orange color. Sway is this color down here. I'm gonna take those two and you make that highlight under my eye again. Pretty similar to Chewy's. Just a little bit more of a peachy color. And then taking my liner brush, I'm going to be just grabbing this bottom shade right here to make that shadow. You can see a bit of that shadow down there. Actually, I took a little bit of that orange too, not a whole lot, just a tiny bit. And then kind of just following my natural socket. Just kind of darkening that. To get that puffy look. And then going in with a little bit of eyeliner on the upper lash line. Ooh, I forgot to curl my lashes. Oh my god. Let me just... There we go. And then for Sana, she's got very pink lips to kind of go with the pink makeup. And my lips are kind of already stained pink from all the stains that I put on, but I have a very pink tint. This is the Face Shop's watery tint in number 1, Pink Bella, or Rose Bonbon. So there are 2 names and I don't know why. I don't know if that made a difference, but can kind of see one. This one is like a little bit more sheer. This is actually one of the first tints that I tried and that I got. Okay, and that is Sana. This is Sana's look zoomed out. It's very soft, very pink. Yeah. And then next, I think, oh, this is number 6. So we've only got 3 left. Mina's I'm gonna save for last because hers is probably the most, takes the most time. So next, I think will be Dahyun. Okay, I'm pretty excited for Dahyun's look. She kind of has something pretty different from the rest of the girls. She kind of has like a blue sparkly eye with like a little bit of shadow. Or I guess it's kind of like a darker liner, winged out. And she doesn't have too much of like the puff. She has a little bit of highlight underneath her eyes, but not too much. And then she kind of has a very soft pink, a little bit coral lip. So I'm excited to work with some colors. It's not brown and pink. So I'll be right back after I finish 9. Okay, so I'm back. Dahyun's look is pretty simple. I didn't do like a whole lot of detail with it. Basically, I'll just show you how I did it. So first I'm going to take my liner brush and I'm going to take my Tarte's Pro Remix palette and taking the color Ink, which is this black here, and Beat Drop, which is kind of a shimmery gray, and mixing those two together. I think I tend to like to mix eyeshadows together. I don't know why. I feel like it just adds a little bit more dimension to it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like line my eyes with it and extend like a little bit of a wing kind of past my crease. First do that. So this is kind of gives it like a very soft shadow effect versus using like a gel or pencil liner or a liquid liner, because I kind of want it to be a soft kind of shadow. Extending outwards. Lift it up just a little bit. Trying to make sure it's even with this eye. And then once you kind of have that line, I'm going to go in with the color Artist, which is this kind of really pretty, like shimmery blue color. Kind of like a shimmery denim almost. I'm going to just take that and just kind of apply that all over my lid. Being careful, I'm actually not going to fade this out. I'm just going to make sure that I keep the color concentrated on the lids and I don't want it to fade out into my crease at all. Just stamping that on. For this one, you might want to use a brush just for better control. Ooh, a lot of fallout. And then actually before I add the finishing touch, I'm going to take my small finger, I'm going to take a little bit of the highlight color Inspiration and Mixed Media, kind of mixing those together. And I'm going to just apply that under my eye to brighten it and just add like a little bit of a highlight. Nothing too fancy though. Okay, and then to kind of get that shimmer on this eye, I'm going to go in with my Aurora Lights palette. This is by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to take a combination of Polar, Glowing, and Magnetic. Sorry, not Glowing. Polar, This is ombre and magnetic. So I'm first going to start off with polar. Taking that color on my finger, I'm going to just dab that all along the lid. You can see it kind of gives that like instant shimmer. And then taking a little bit of ombre on that same finger, I'm going to just kind of dab it in the center. And then taking magnetic, which is the dark blue, I'm going to apply those to kind of the inner and outer corners, or outer thirds, to kind of get that dimensional effect. And there you have it. That's Dahyun's look. I didn't do mascara for this one just because for me, I think the focus is more on the liner and on the lids versus like the eyelashes, and it's not really going to make a difference for me to do that. And then for the lip, I'm going to use a combination, I think, of the Dear Darling tint and then my Lip 1 Get It tint in Oh My Rose. Well, let's see what happens. Because my lips are already kind of pink, let's do this. I'm gonna add a little bit of that color just to kind of give it that like nice watery kind of sheen to it. And then I'm going to take my Lip 1 Get It tint and run that over the top. Just for kind of a more of a coral color. The lip 1 Get It tints are a little bit too watery for me, so I need to use like a different lip tint beforehand to really get it to show up and like stick properly. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good color for Dahyun. So this is number 7, so only 2 more to go. This is Dahyun's look. It's kind of a blue color all over the lid with some like a black, very subtle wing. And this is what it looks like zoomed out. This is actually also pretty wearable. The color's not too crazy, and it's kind of confined to the lid, so it doesn't really look like it's like too much, you know? Yeah. And then we're gonna go on to the next one. Next one we're gonna do is Chaeyeon. Okay, so for Chaeyeon's look, she has kind of a dramatic liner look. So again, I'm not going to be really focusing on mascara, the eyelashes, but it's kind of just like she's got kind of a smoky peachy brown contour kind of, and then a very dramatic white winged liner with a little bit of a black liner layered on the top close to her lash line, and then a very, oh, I forgot to take off my lip color, but a very kind of pale pink lip to go with the kind of dramatic look. So be right back. So this is Chaeyoung's look from Feel Special. She kind of has the like bold white eyeliner and then like a defined lash line with like, I used liquid liner for this. So let me show you what I did on this. I kind of accidentally did a little bit on this eye already, but it's just the contour shade. So for a contour, what I did was I took from my Huda Remix palette, I took the color Demure with a little bit of the Tartelette in Bloom's Jet Setter, and I mixed those together and just focusing on the crease. I kind of did it already, but I'll show you again. Just focusing on the crease area, just kind of buff that in to darken it, kind of give it that smoky look. Since I've already done it, I won't go too far in, but just kind of deepen that crease a little bit, and then also run that along the outer third of your lower lash line. Oh, now my makeup smudging along the outer lash line. And then I'm taking a little bit of the usual highlight colors. I'm taking the color from my Tartelette palette, combination of Inspiration and Sway. Just run that along the lower lash line. Just kind of like that. And that's kind of the eyeshadow done. The eyeshadow look for this is pretty simple. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a white eyeliner. I would, since it is such a sharp line, I would recommend a liquid white eyeliner if you have one. Otherwise, I am using the NYX Professional Makeup Retractable Eyeliner in white. And I think this is the waterproof version. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Oop. And then first, kind of just lining my eyes like I normally would. Tiny, very soft strokes, so you don't want to drag it on your eyelids too much. And this eye I usually have to kind of line a little bit differently than this eye, just to make sure it shows up, so I have to go a little bit higher up. Okay, so now I've got that, and now her eyeliner kind of wings up quite a bit, so I kind of replicated that here, and I'm going to try and make it even. It kind of starts going up, kind of like right where my crease stops, kind of following like the curve of my lower lash line, so I'm gonna just kind of sketch it up. And what's really nice with white eyeliner is that if you mess up, it's really easy to erase and kind of just redo. So don't worry too much if you mess up your line. You can smudge it out pretty easily and it'll fade. So just kind of making sure that that's well, even this needs to go up a little bit more. I think that looks okay. It's a little far, but it's fine. You kind of really want that point. Yeah. Just kidding, it's not even. See, if you need to redo, just smudge it out. It's gone. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit more. Because when I do this, I lift up my eyelashes, so it's kind of hard for me to tell where it's gonna land. I think this looks better. Yeah, it's much better. And then I'm going to go in with a liquid liner, and I'm using my Tartist. I think this is like the Tartist Pro liner or something in black. Do I end it? This is the, because I want to be able to get like a very thin, very defined line. Taking my liner and then just kind of keeping it horizontal and kind of just laying it along my lash line and making tiny strokes. Like that. And then her liner kind of is a little bit thicker. It kind of tapers to a very slight point at the outer corners. Kind of like that. And then for Chaeyoung, she has very pale, like very light pink lips. I've got a little bit of kind of a stain already going on, so it's a little bit darker than it should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of, oh, that's bright, of my BB cream. Let me see if I can tone down the brightness just a little bit. It's better. So I'm going to take a little bit of my BB cream. This is the Amoeba Ion Calcium BB cream. Just taking like a teeny tiny dot. I'm just gonna warm that on the back of my hand, and then just kind of apply that on my lips to kind of neutralize the color again. So now that they're kind of neutralized, I'm going to go in with the pinkest one that I have, which is the watery tint again, which I've used, I believe, for Sana. I'm going to go in and apply it on the center of my lips. And since Chaeyoung has kind of a defined shape to her lips, I'm going to kind of paint that a little bit. Just like that. And that is Chaeyoung's look. Very bold eyeliner, but it's at the same time it's still like pretty wearable, even maybe kind of an edgier day, but yeah. And this is what it looks like zoomed out. This is number 8 of 9. We're almost there. The last one is Mina's look, and her look is kind of similar to Chaeyoung's look actually, but instead of like a liner, it's rhinestone. So I'm gonna take this off and I'll be right back. Okay, so Mina's look is probably the most different. Well, not the most different, but it has like it's gonna take the longest because kind of similar to Chaeyoung, she has like the liner and the lashes, but instead of like the white eyeliner, it's kind of like these glittery kind of like sequins or almost rhinestone kind of looking, and they kind of just dot all along her lower lash line. So this one might take me a while to do, but for you guys it's just gonna be a snap of the fingers. So I'll be right back. Okay, and here is Mina's look. I've got the little kind of, they're kind of like large glitter, like chunky glitter particles that I've used. These ones maybe aren't as opaque as maybe I would like. When they catch the light, they look really good though. But like in person, they're a little bit more translucent than I would like. So what I use is chunky glitter, Recollections Brilliant. They look like this. They come in a jar. I got this at a craft store, and all I did was use lash glue to kind of like apply them along my lash line. So first, I'm going to I'll take care of the lower lash line first, just because it's really pretty simple. And I'm just going to use a little bit of Inspiration, which is the highlight color, and just kind of sweep it under my eye as usual. Just gonna highlight that, and then I'm actually gonna take a little bit of ink, which is black, and Wall Art, which is kind of a neutral brown color, and I'm actually gonna sweep that kind of along the outer third of my lash line, and then also on the waterline, to kind of darken it. Just kind of like that, and that's really easy because that's the lower lash line done. And now I'm going to take my liquid liner and line my eyes. For this one, for the wing, you don't want to go like too far upwards like a cat eye. You kind of want to follow like your natural fold right here and kind of go a little bit down and like out, so that way you have room for like the glitter. So let me line my eyes. Kind of still lined. I didn't take off my makeup that well. I think because like the glitter part of like the sparkles are so like kind of eye-catching, you don't really need any other bells and whistles with this look, so I'm not really adding anything on the upper lid because this is already so kind of like the center of attention. So I'm gonna make sure my eyes are even, looking straight ahead. Kind of follow this down and then just kind of out. Just kind of like that. And then, oop, oh no, okay. And then once you've got that, what I've done is I've kind of taken a few, just kind of put them in the lid, and then I'm taking a pair of eyelash tweezers and my eyelash glue, and I'm just kind of dotting a little bit of glue on onto the back of my hand. You probably need to do this a few times since the glue will dry before you can get all of them on. I think I put on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Lucky number in Chinese culture. But okay. So try not to grab like a whole stack, since these are a little bit stuck together. So after you grab one, you kind of just like dip it into the glue, and then I need a mirror for this, I can't do this in the camera. And then the first one I kind of apply just on the inner corner, not like too far in, because like when you look up it's gonna fold inwards and it's gonna be pretty uncomfortable, so I kind of just do it where it starts off being a little bit wider. And this lash glue dries clear, so you don't have to really worry about like if you mess up and there's glue spots, or like if since these are translucent, you don't have to worry too much about them like of the glue like showing through the back, because it'll just dry. So there's that. And then you just kind of keep going following your eyeliner. And you want to apply them kind of fairly close together. There's not too much of a gap. They're not touching, but there's not too much of a gap between the sparkles. Too much glue. Four. Five. Okay, so that is Mina's eyes finished, and then she kind of has like a nude orangey brown color in her lip. I'm actually going to use my Lip 1 Get It tint. This is a much softer orangey brown kind of color. Although my lips are kind of so tinted now that it's hard to tell. I think it's fine. But anyways, this is Mina's look. This one I actually really like. I think this is my favorite one out of all of them. Let me zoom out really quick and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, well thank you so much for watching. I hope you stuck around for all 9 looks. Comment down below on which one was your favorite, or like which one you think I did the best job of recreating. I think out of all of these, I really like this one, Mina's look. I really liked Chewy's, I think, and whose else did I like? Jaeyoung and Dahyun's were pretty fun, just because they were different after doing kind of like 4 or 5 kind of smoky brown and like peachy coral looks in a row. I don't think I'm a super big fan of like the puffy under eye kind of look, but I don't think so. I don't think I'll be using that really in my day-to-day makeup, but it looks really nice in videos in there, and I think it's just more of a Korean style thing. But I kind of can't wait to get this off of my eyes, since I've been putting on and off makeup for a long time, for over 3 hours now. So hopefully when I edit this, it won't be too long, and it'll be interesting for you guys and not too slow of a pace. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll let you guys see the looks one more time. Let me know which one you guys like the best, or if there are any other looks that you guys want me to create next. So thank y'all for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.